Everyone, it is currently the 5th of November 2014. Just a reminder, this will be our last update prior to the Western Pacific Weather Meet and Greet / Conference in Manila, the Philippines. So definitely over the next several days, we're not going to be putting out weather updates, but do please continue to follow the Facebook page, and also at the website we'll have different updates basically revolving around that, and also the 1 year anniversary of Typhoon Haiyan. So just stay tuned for more information on that. Let's get into the weather update though, and this is what's happening right here. You have Typhoon Nuri still tracking off towards the northeast. Good news with this storm system, it is winketing. You can see some drier inflow really wrapping around the western periphery of here, and also down towards the south. You see some of these areas in the dark. That's that drier pulling in from the north. Still has a lot of good outflow aloft on the northern periphery though, allowing for, well, a further enhancement of this storm system. And what I mean by outflow aloft, you can see all these lines going from the east towards the west right in here. That's the low level winds, but let's look right around about 300 millibars. This is actually 500 millibars. I pulled back the picture right here. You can still see Japan, but you have the jet stream pulling in from the west in this area right in here in the darker reds. That's indicating higher areas of wind speed. So that is vastly different than what we are seeing at the surface. Thus, we have directional and, well, velocity wind shear, and that's causing our storm system to be sheared off towards the northeast. And the other thing is this jet stream is just going to act like a river with our storm system. Think of this as a boat, and once it hits us, it's going to flow away towards the northeast, keeping it off of mainland Japan. And take a look at the latest track from the Japan Meteorological Agency. The track really resembles that. Winds right now 157, gusting up to 222 kilometers per hour. Key thing to note, it is picking up its pace, moving about 20 kilometers per hour in a forward momentum. This is from the Joint Typhoon Warning Center. Very similar track, basically running along with that jet stream. High pressure over Japan will keep it offshore. And you're seeing winds right now about 185, gusting to 232. The reason why there's a difference between these two numbers from JMA is that this is not based on actual information, actual recorded information. It's based on satellite estimates using Dvorak intensity. So sometimes you get a little bit of a difference. Also, there's a difference between the 10-minute and the 1-minute wind speed. Reason why I zoomed in, I just want to show you what the GFS is showing as far as the forecast. Is expecting some light rain showers for coastal areas. I think the bigger issue here with coastal areas of Honshu is definitely not going to be the rain. It's more like the waves. Actually, about 3 to 4 meter high waves expected near the immediate coast, and more so is for the Ogasawara and Izu Islands. This is showing the forecast going through the early morning hours on Thursday. In some areas, 6 to 7 meter high waves. That is enough to cause definitely some coastal flooding and some beach erosion. Another thing to think about as far as good news is that the storm system is getting wrapped up with this front end, this jet stream off towards the north. So really, I think it's going to be moving faster than what the model is currently showing here. I mean, if we go back to what the track says, or actually we can just put up here on the screen from the JTWC, they have the track a little bit ahead of what the ECMWF is picking up on, and that's really indicating this forward momentum, which should be picking up towards about 30 to 40 kilometers per hour. Actually, at this time, JTWC expects forward movement, not the wind speeds, but movement of about 65 kilometers per hour, and that's just going to cause it to race right past the coastal areas here of Japan through the morning hours here on Thursday, and eventually racing off there towards the northeast by the afternoon hours. So really good news there is that I don't expect this to really linger for an extended period of time near the coastal Kanto area, including around Chiba and to the Tokyo area, and also just offshore for a lot of these smaller islands. It just definitely, you don't want to be getting hit for an extended duration of time with winds over 100 kilometers per hour. So some good news there. Once again, I think the biggest issue here is going to be the threat of large waves. As far as anything else going on out here in the Western Pacific, storm whizzes by and may bring some snowfall to parts of Hokkaido down through Honshu, so good news for skiers there. Extended range, I really don't see much happening out there in the tropics, so good news, we can take a few days off this coming weekend. Don't expect really much to develop. There is a weak wave there into the South China Sea. We are keeping a very close eye on, but I don't really expect much to develop out of that. All right, I'm going to leave you with this. This is a pretty cool image. So we had our low pressure area down here towards the south, cyclone or Typhoon Nuri, that is, and then we had a cold surge taking place across this area. And when that happens, you get these strong northerly winds that really just roll across much of Japan, South Korea, and specifically Jeju Island right in here. And I want to show you this via NASA, and what they were really taking a picture of was Typhoon Nuri here. A pretty incredible nighttime shot of this storm. But if you zoom in on the northern periphery of this, you have those winds pushing across the island, and you get those von Karman vortices. They set up. And I always found that kind of interesting as far as cold surges for this area of the world. Anyhow, that is all for right now, guys. Thanks again for watching here, and as always, stay safe out there.